Welcome to The Ancient Way. I'm James.
I'm Marlia.
Had some technical difficulties this afternoon.
It's 111.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen that number every single day for weeks now.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. 111 and 222. And 444.
Yeah.
They've been following me around.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole thing for me, though.
Yeah.
It's very significant.
I think I saw 111 the other day. It was 4 ones. 1111.
Yeah. I'm either 111 or 1111.
Yeah.
222 or 2222.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Interesting. See the letters JVV frequently.
Here recently or just?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
So it's usually on license plates.
It's the Lord saying, James, vroom, vroom.
I guess
I'm just
so.
kidding.
That's my license plate too.
Is it really?
I think it's JVV.
Oh, that's funny.
It's always been, and I'll see it in other things too, with a lot of license plates. Don't know why. This technology's been testing me lately.
Tell me about it.
With computers.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Computers, this thing.
I'm glad I finally found something that triggered you because I didn't think you ever got triggered.
The technology, it bothers me. I think because I'm so, it's so out of my realm that I really have no clue. I will try, but
you've done well.
I appreciate it. It's taken days.
So let's tell everybody. So I have recently opened a business called Native Healing and Wellness with my husband and Laurel, who was on the podcast, and Steven, her husband. And I got some computers from James because he runs this incredible place called The Pipeline, and they were looking to kind of restructure some stuff. And so I was like, yo, let us buy your computers. Well, it was as if the computers decided to dissolve the moment that they left location.
Yeah.
And just like crazy crap. Like,
oh, I know. Yeah.
Crazy stuff. And so James has been on this militant mission for weeks now to try and figure them out.
To fix them.
Poor guy. I'm truly grateful for all that you've done for it.
Yeah.
But also, it's been a headache.
Technology is one of the many tools of the devil.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That was why in the Book of Enoch, they came down and taught technology.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Little did they know.
And yeah, technology's up there with like drugs.
Yeah.
Pharmakeia.
Don't move. Your mic's going to cut out, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, it tests me, but I think the point is, of course it's going to bother me because I can't fix it because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know? But then again, I'm like, this should work the way it's supposed to work. Anyways. It's a good opportunity to...
let go and let God.
Yeah. 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 You know, when I'm in there working on those computers, I've got that little lifeline of hope.
Yeah.
That you see on the stickers of the cars.
Yeah. It's just flashing before your eyes the whole time.
By a thread. I do have hope. It's a really small thread of hope.
You'll get it eventually.
Okay, here's a good one. So tell me about your week. How's your week been?
Man, it's been wild.
I want to talk about Native.
It's been the opening week. We launched Monday, which this was cool. This was a whole thing. So we have had over the course, this idea was birthed. I actually kind of want to give some backstory of this.
Let's go.
So where this business came from, and just kind of an insight of my own life, which I'm not sure if I've told this dream that I had on the podcast, but it was November of 2019. No, 2020. It was 2020 because of all COVID. That's right. So we didn't know if we were going to sell the gym or not. I knew in my person that a shift was coming. I knew that it was time. I knew a transition was coming. I didn't know what it was going to look like. And, you know, every time I'd pray about it, the Lord would say, wait.
Yeah.
I was like, well, God dang. Well, I had this dream kind of during this period. And in the dream, I was stepping off the stage with Zach. And so that's how I knew. Like, for me, that was a transition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stepping off of something, being on stage is like, owning your business or whatever.
Right.
I was stepping off stage, and the Lord met me. The Lord Jesus met me there when we stepped off stage. And there was a angel, a lady that was with him. I knew she was assigned to me. I just knew it. And she grabbed me and like held me. And she said, Marlia, what you are establishing in Tyler has never been seen before. And I was almost dismissive to her.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, okay, like I get it, but not like taking in the gravity of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the scene shifts, and like the Lord was just like happy, dude. He
Yeah.
was so brilliantly happy and not saying a word. He was the most beautiful blue I've ever seen. Beautifully blue. Anyways, well, the scene changes, and I'm sitting on the couch with a friend, and she asked me, she said, Marlia, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, I want to heal cancer. And she said, you can do it. You have it within you.
Yeah.
And that was the whole dream.
Wow.
So I knew like the whole thing was setting in motion something that was already inside my heart. I just didn't know was inside my heart. And so that was kind of cool to just kind of like hold that.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see how it's kind of evolved. What I thought was interesting is the person's name that was talking with me in the dream.
Yeah.
Her name actually means to be joyful.
Oh, wow.
And I knew like that was an aspect I knew that was going to bring me joy, is to actually be able to bring healing to people. And to me, cancer, it is a label that seems uncurable.
Yeah.
Like I want to offer cures to people that have been labeled uncurable.
Right.
Autoimmune diseases, cancer, like. And what I find interesting is I am not by label a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I've always wrestled with this thing of like feeling like a fraud because I don't have the degrees.
Yeah.
I don't have all these letters behind my name. And in my person, it feels very contradictory to go get the degrees. Because I'm like, the proof should be in the pudding.
Yeah.
Not in the letters behind your name.
Right.
Like if healing should be with somebody, like that's going to empower you to walk alongside you, not just because somebody has an MD.
Right. It's the reality of what actually happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, why not actually look at the fruit of their life, if you will?
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was that's been a big thing, and actually having to walk that out. Because even I got hit with it this week.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got hit with it hard. Like you're nothing but a fraud. And
interesting.
I mean, it's definitely accusation, dude.
Yeah.
Because that's not the Lord.
Right.
You ever feel like a fraud?
Yeah, I've had that before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the Lord. That's not edifying.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't talk to us like that.
No.
But yeah, it's been interesting, but it's been cool because we had some setbacks with the city, and the city finally decided to show up on Monday, which they were supposed to come Friday, but then they like claimed that they didn't have our paperwork and all these things. And so I was like carrying this stress of like, yo, we told everybody we were going to open Monday morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
We're going to have all these people, and then I can't legally do anything because they haven't given us the okay, like we haven't been approved. And like I was kind of stressing about it, and I like laid it before the Lord, and he was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Watch me work. And I was like, okay. Bro, it was deader than dead could be at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it stayed dead until...
This is Monday, right?
This is Monday.
Okay.
Monday morning.
Gotcha.
We had done so much advertising that it was opening at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyways, nobody showed up. Nobody showed up until the inspector came, gave us the approval, and then we had people start coming in.
Nice.
And I was like, to me, it was like it was the Lord. Like, hey, I've got you.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the point in worrying?
Yeah. But it was sweet. I mean,
That's
it wasn't
cool.
like this like spin,
No,
but
no,
it was just
yeah.
like a weight that I could recognize. Like,
Well,
okay,
it's just like it'll be nice once we're there.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was just cool.
That's cool.
And I wasn't even concerned, even though nobody showed up. I was like almost relieved.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's gonna actually make sure that everything is squared away.
But yeah, that's cool.
And then we had people roll in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been fun. It's been fun getting people set up. It's been fun like letting people see the hard work that we've.
Yeah. And it's definitely been hard work. And I've been in and out, seen the progressions of it. And y'all have really done a great job.
Yeah, it's
the place
crazy.
Looks incredible. The place is incredible. And like even the tour of it, seeing everything and actually seeing all the stuff that you've been talking about for such a long time. It's really cool. And like what it does and everything.
Yeah, and how
So
much it
cool.
actually is going to fix people's bodies.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to do a run through of what y'all offer?
Oh, am I pitching right now?
You're pitching.
I love it. Yeah, we've got this thing called a PEMF mat, which puts your body it's like a supercharger for your cells.
I laid on that one.
Yeah. Yo, I've got a friend who, I won't blast her name, but she's a good friend of mine that got on the mat and put the new calm on. So like you put these headphones on and it's sound frequency. It puts your body back into, it takes it out of the fight or flight and it puts it into its true state where disease can't manifest.
It puts you in alignment with like
your
the
real
earth,
body.
right?
Yeah, the PEMF mat does. Yes.
Or the frequencies of the earth.
Yes.
Okay.
Which you can literally Google a PEMF mat and look at all the research on it. It's outrageous. It's just not well known in East Texas.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you're breaking new ground with it.
Yeah.
Never been seen for. That's what Kelsey messed up.
Been seen before?
Never. Crap. Never before seen. Kelsey said one time, never been seen for, and I just said it because
That's funny.
I say it all the time as a joke. But that goes back to your dream too. Like you're going to establish. It's one of the things that hadn't been seen here before.
Yeah. And then we've got, it's called EWAT. It's called Exercise with Oxygen Training. And that's where after the PEMF mat, you get on this bike with an oxygen mask.
Yeah.
Which it puts 97% oxygen through your body. Because disease, again, cannot stand under the weight of oxygen, which I think is hysterical.
Yeah.
It is the breath of God is what it is.
Right.
Because he is the Rhema word. Anyways.
Yeah.
So we've got that. We've got the new calm, which is sound frequency in your head, like their headphones that you wear that it puts a beat to bring your body back to its true state. We've got red light therapy, which decreases inflammation.
Yeah.
It helps uptake collagen. Collagen is the only thing that actually depletes as you get older, so you need more of it. It is depleted by cortisol, which is stress.
Interesting.
The collagen, it helps, the red light helps the uptake of it. So then if you took it supplementation with like a collagen supplement.
Which y'all have as well.
We do, where people can actually utilize the collagen. It helps bring like homeostasis back to your body as well.
Cool.
We've got an infrared sauna. Then we've got this dope thing called a Rife machine, where one of us and only one other people in all of East Texas has this machine.
Cool.
It sends frequencies. It can scan your body, tell you if you've got heavy metals, which kind of protocol that you need to run on your body.
Yeah.
It'll tell you, I mean, it's brilliant.
So this is the way I think it, does it kind of like send a charge through your entire body and then brings it back?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then it communicates. And the charge, every disease holds a different charge. And so it can tell you which diseases you're holding on to or what kind of microbiome or whatever like is actually in your body. It can tell you where you're out of alignment.
Yeah.
And how to get back into alignment because it will send the opposite frequency.
That's cool.
Oh, they've seen cancer get healed from this Rife machine. They have seen Lyme disease, lupus, cold, illness, autoimmune diseases. I mean, you can go read about it. They've done a lot of, I'll say, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'll say this. It's a lot of sabotage because this is proven to heal so many people from cancer that the medical industry thought that it was a threat.
Yeah,
and so
it breaks their cycle.
Yeah, and so they banned it. It was invented in 1920.
Wow.
So this thing's been around 100 years.
Yeah.
It was actually first the guy who invented it, Royal Rife, took it from Nikola Tesla. So if anybody knows anything about Nikola Tesla, he is the reason we have electricity.
Yeah.
Not Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison actually took Nikola Tesla's scientific studies and then reproduced.
Interesting.
Nikola Tesla he's the reason we have Tesla cars.
Yeah.
That's why Elon Musk stole the name. I mean, the guy lived on a whole nother level than us.
Yeah.
In terms of intelligence. But
I talked to Steven for a good bit of time one of those days. But it really is like if I came down with something, you know, some disease or some sickness or something like that. It's like, why not? I'd hit up native before anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's so clean and pure, and it's like back to the basics.
Native.
It's like, why
not? Back to the native state of the earth.
Right. It's like, why not? There's really nothing to lose in it. And if you do it, like, and it works, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretend it doesn't work. Just hypothetically, pretend it doesn't work.
Right.
At least you tried that one before you went and got on medication.
Right. Before you connected yourself to something.
Yeah.
That once payment, you know?
No doubt.
Yeah. That's what I love about it, though.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. We want people to bring their body back to their original state.
Yeah.
Which is healthy.
It's what's cool.
Wholeness.
It's an option. It's an option to break free of control, really, in that arena. It's cool.
One of my biggest things, because I do wellness protocols with people, and so I will help them put their body in the optimal position.
Yeah.
To heal. Because here's the deal. This is the key that most people don't know. You are empowered. You are empowered to heal yourself.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah.
Kaylee had that dream. Remember, she talked to us.
Right.
Like the 3 things the Lord gave her. The first one was you heal you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like you are brilliantly empowered.
Yeah.
And you can heal yourself.
Right.
And I think it's how the Lord designed us.
Yeah.
Like, if you cut your hand and it bleeds, what happens?
It heals itself.
It heals itself.
Oh, I got a story.
Go for it.
This is just an example. And this is I've probably talked about this before. Sometimes when I get stung, I've been getting stung by all sorts of bugs since I've started running. Yeah. This comes with the territory. The other day, I was running, and one of them stung me on the arm. And I mean, it itched so bad. I don't know what it was. I've still got a space here. I've been getting mauled by mosquitoes for some reason.
Well, that is Satan's playground.
Minions, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely his minions.
This thing stings me on the arm, and it swole up, started to itch. It was just red, huge. And then, like, my sinuses, like, I started to kind of have trouble breathing. And that's when you have the decision to bite onto it or to, I was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to keep running. And that thing went away before I got back to my car. It didn't get worse. The swelling, all of it went away.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I acknowledged it. I was like, no, I'm just going to keep running. Yeah. And it went away. That's happened with the little wasp that stung me on the hand a couple months ago. It was like, take some Benadryl, go do this. And I was like, no. Yeah. I'm not. If you work yourself into a panic, it gets worse.
Because of the cortisol that's released.
Good. There's science behind it.
Listen, I can go down a stupid trail for half a second. Yeah. The more that people panic, the more that people get into a stress, into the fight or flight, into the freak out, the worse things become. Yeah. Always. That's period. It. Right. It's how our body was designed to be. Huh. It creates more inflammation. Yeah. Inflammation is what makes things manifest more. When you stay calm,
Yeah.
when you don't take the bait of that, you release oxytocin. You actually release endorphins. Endorphins and oxytocin is where healing occurs.
I love that. Because what you're saying, it's like you're describing, I guess, the science of like something spiritual, of the choice, the free will.
Yes, it's just the physical manifestation of your choice.
Right. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Cool,
But it's the chemical release in it.
Yeah, it's a legit thing though. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's what I think is so interesting about the spirit realm. I was talking to somebody about this, but like everything's intertwined.
Yeah.
Our bodies, what we choose in the spirit, because I think that our mind, it is the access point to the spirit realm. You make it manifest.
Yeah.
Like you bring the reality here.
Right.
Right. And so you can put a bunch of scientific words on it, but what you've just done is you chose faith and then threw it on the floor.
Yeah.
Like you threw it into this realm.
Yeah.
And your body aligned to it.
Right.
Your body responded. Your body responded by having endorphins. Your body responded by releasing oxytocin.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have a adrenaline dump. Is what happens. It's norepinephrine. I'm going to screw that word up.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's the cortisol. It's a part of the cortisol release. But
okay.
You didn't have that response, which would, yeah. It's just like the practical things.
Yeah.
It's all intertwined.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyways, but that's what we do. We bring healing.
Yeah.
We bring healing all the way through.
I love it. I want to try everything there. I just want to,
Well, if you got time this afternoon, bring Kyla by.
Yeah.
But for real.
Well, that's what I laid on that mat. The what? PMF?
PEMF.
PEMF. I laid on that PEMF mat. And right as it started, I started to kind of drift away into it. And the sound was playing. So when all the kids ran in there, started punching me in the stomach and counting loud. And so I was like, wow.
Yeah, that'll pull you out of it quick.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was saying about that mat, about my friend earlier.
Yeah.
She said that she laid on it and she was carrying so much stress she didn't even realize, but she had the new calm on. She was laying down on the mat. Her body started to tingle.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can feel it. She was like, it's a weird tingling sensation. I was like, yeah, that's part of it. That's part of healing. Like literally you're feeling your cells activate.
Holy crap. Okay. Healing. Wow. Okay. Cause I laid on it and before they just started to beat the crap out of me while I was drifting off, I felt this warm, like tingling in my back, but it's funny you talk about healing and tingling. I prayed for this guy a couple years ago and there was a manifestation, demonic manifestation. But as I was praying for him, I had my hand on him. I felt the warm tingling, like my arm started to heat up and tingle, and I could feel it like going into him.
Yes. Keep going.
Anyways, it just made me think of that.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like it just happened,
I've had that happen so much. Like when I've prayed for healing for people, I'll actually wait. Yeah. That sounds silly, but sometimes I'll wait till I feel the heat in my hand.
Yeah.
And I can feel the heat on my hands. And then it's as if each finger begins to tingle.
Yes.
And it's like a TENS unit is what it feels like if you've ever been on a TENS unit.
Yeah.
But it's been literally the same effect as like being on the PEMF mat.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, I mean, now that you say that, it's like, we actually, the earth frequency. Okay, are you ready? Let's get really nerdy.
Let's go.
The earth frequency that is the PEMF mat that we have that setting on there to lay down on, it is the love frequency. So
cool.
Every emotion also carries a frequency. The love frequency is the frequency of the earth.
Yeah.
It is what it vibrates at. And that's the same frequency that the mat that you lay down on.
Yeah. I wonder if that is all of creation groaning and
I think so.
That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah. I think that is like the physical manifestation of it.
It's groaning for us to line up with that frequency, that love frequency.
Yeah. Which is the Lord himself.
That's cool. Yeah.
I went through this whole thing where I was like kind of arguing with the Lord of like, well, if you're not going to heal people, I will.
Yeah.
It was very arrogant, but honest.
It's cool. Yeah.
I'm kind of a dum-dum sometimes, but I'm at least honest.
Well, I think he wants us to.
Yeah. And so I was just kind of like being blunt about it.
Yeah.
And he said, who do you think interwove this into the fabric of the universe?
Mm-hmm.
Who interwove the sound into the fabric of the universe? And I was like, crap, dude. Like, you're right. Like, you did.
Yeah.
You did this. You made it a part of so we could actually join into healing.
Yeah.
Like,
participate and function in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did it. He did the whole flipping thing.
Right.
And I think this is a theory I have.
Okay.
I think the frequency of the earth shifted when Jesus died on the cross.
Oh, yeah.
I think when the love frequency, when everything became to vibrate at 528 hertz, I think that was when Jesus said it is finished.
Yeah.
And I think that's when, like, the storm, like the earthquake, all of that, I think it actually sent a ripple effect.
I believe that, yeah.
Through the whole earth.
Yeah.
And so people actually can have access into that now.
Right. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Versus I think that there was a different frequency that was roaming the earth.
Yeah. Well, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a theory that I have.
That's a good theory.
Can't prove it.
Right.
But.
Well, he did change everything.
He did. I think he actually changed the frequency, the molecules. Yeah. I think everything shifted when he said it is finished.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the veil.
Yeah, right.
That was the veil. I had this theory too that like before Jesus died, people couldn't actually truly love.
Yeah.
Because God is love.
Right.
And God actually was residing within people.
Yeah.
It's a theory.
Yeah, I think about that too. What was it like before? What would it feel like to be in there? In the world before. And
how much of it, like with Elijah and Elisha and all the power that they walked in.
Yeah.
And even David, like being a man after his own heart. Does that mean he actually had the ability to love?
Yeah.
Like, because God, God is love. He's the essence of it.
Yeah.
And is that what people were tapping into? Like even all the prophets and all of that, like.
Right.
Because Abraham saw Jesus' day and was glad. It was like he could enter into love.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. And then even that we were once alienated in our minds.
Yeah, so you only thought that you didn't have it.
Yeah, there's a lot in that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I do think about it a lot, though.
Yeah, what our brothers actually went through.
Right.
That was like the whole thing when you and I were talking about, I kind of started talking about it on Wednesday when you brought up that scripture about in Isaiah 62 about like the remembrance of stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go into as if I was that person living in that day and what that looked like.
Yeah.
And I think it's really helped unlock me to some degree because like pretend that we were people that encountered Pentecost, right? So we had like tongues of fire that were flaming. We heard something come in like a train. Like we've had all these experiences. We were walking with Jesus and seeing these miracles and you're like, holy moly. But also you have these traditions that you were supposed to, as this person, highly esteem.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's like you had to have one of the things about Christianity is that you have a new approach to life.
Yeah.
And anyways, it just got me thinking is like, I think that thing still fully applies to us.
Yeah.
I think it is everybody has to choose to start having a new approach to life.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's when your whole life changes.
Yeah.
I think the approach is like, everything is through the blood of the Lamb, period. It is by his grace. And even that kind of, I feel like, gets so perverted in the church. But it's like, he enacted everything. I don't even have to work at this thing. I just have to receive it.
Right.
And then I can choose to now look at everything in my life through this lens.
Right. Yeah, that's what it is to proclaim liberty. And the open door to the captives is like, here, you can you can change the way you live. Like it's available.
Yeah.
Something's been done. Yeah.
That's what I like about, I think it's like Ephesians 5. It says stand in the liberty.
Right.
Like actually stand up in it. Stand up in the freedom that you have. The freedom to get yourself healthy. The freedom that you have to stop making bad food choices.
Yeah.
The freedom, like,
right.
You're not a victim.
Not at all.
To even your genetics.
No, not at all.
I hear that conversation a lot. It's like,
too.
oh, it's my genetics. I was born this way. It's my personality. It's like, yo, all of that doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah, right. It's been done away with.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. All you got to do is step out of it.
Stand in the freedom.
Right.
Actually say, no, I'm actually free in this.
Yeah.
And I think this is the war. This is what the war looks like.
It is, but the shift is so close.
It's right there.
It's as close as a decision, you know?
Yep.
It is so close. I want that for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
To flip that, man, you talk about unstoppable.
Yeah. I think it's the fear that if they go all in with something or you decide to make a stance, that you'll be disappointed.
Or to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
To yield something that you think is a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a man who will probably be a guest on our show. I listened to one of his videos, and he was talking about suicide. And his message on suicide is like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, oh, that's pretty brutal. But what he says is, the reason you feel that way is because there is something that needs to die. And it's so ingrained with you that you think it's yourself, but it's not. He's like, but there is something that definitely needs to be crucified, needs to die. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wow, that makes complete and total sense.
It's the demon that's convinced you that it's your person.
Yeah.
But really, it's a thought process.
Yeah.
And it's probably actually the demon.
Right.
It's probably the demon that
it's
actually
like
needs to die.
the closer you get to like the fire of the Lord, until like all these things, like it heats that thing up. And then you realize, you come to that realization like, oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's just, when he said that, that was a really cool one.
Mm-hmm.
But.
That's so good though.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. We still got some time. Oh, well, this episode probably won't be released until later. I'm doing a bunch of surprises for Kelsey's birthday. She won't hear this until like 2 weeks from now, so I can talk freely about it. But we're planning like a family get-together Saturday evening for a surprise. I'm going to try to make it to 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, you know, place she likes to eat, one of her favorite places. If I can postpone, she has it set we're going there anyway, so I can postpone it till late Saturday evening. It'll be mission accomplished. And then picking Kyla up from school today, and she and I are going to go to bookstore and get Kelsey some gift cards and probably some, you know, do something fun. Make like a whole weekend out of it. We're going to like clean the house really good.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
You know, she texted me the other day.
Oh, yeah?
This is the thing I find to be so courageous, is when people can actually send a text and be like, hey, will you pray and get a word for me?
Dang, yeah.
I think it's the most courageous thing in the world because it's vulnerable.
Oh,
You actually have to choose vulnerability to be like, yo, I want the words of life spoken over me.
Right. It's vulnerable, but it's brilliant because you're seeking it too. It's like, this is real. Ooh.
Well, it's like you see God. This is what I think is beautiful too. It's like you can see God in other people. Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, I know God's real. Yeah. I know he speaks to you. So what do you think?
Right.
And I don't think it's this codependency. I think there's a difference about that. I'm talking about the healthy relational thing. Right. But she texted me and asked me.
That's cool.
And which is kind of cool because I've had several people this week kind of text me and just be like, hey, can you give me a word? I think that's an honor, honestly, to actually get to go to the Lord on behalf of somebody else. Well,
that's just like them knocking at your door and you going to get them
Totally.
bread. Yeah.
It's honestly, it's my favorite thing.
That's cool.
But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to share it with her.
Oh, you haven't yet?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Cool.
I was thinking about how I was going to deliver it.
Yeah.
Like getting her a gift, like if I should write it out or if I should
Oh, yeah.
put it
Good
somehow
birthday
in the
present.
gift.
Yeah.
Or, anyways,
That's cool.
I'm mulling around with it,
Yeah.
but I love it. I really so appreciate her.
Yeah, I do too. Been laughing a lot lately.
Y'all have?
She's hilarious. Oh, yeah. She really is.
It's fun. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to go on a small rant, but it made me think. Have I talked on here about how I realized that my family doesn't laugh? Like my childhood?
No.
My childhood, I realized as a family, we never laughed.
Oh, no.
We never had it was not fun.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fun. Well, I asked my sisters that and it triggered them.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them were like, our childhood did suck.
Wow.
But anyways, since I had that recognition,
yeah.
that sometimes humor is
Yeah.
hard for me,
Mm-hmm.
I have been laughing nonstop.
Good.
Our household is and this is probably 2 months ago, honestly.
Yeah.
Our household is hysterical now.
Good.
I don't know. I don't know if it's also just because Bexley's getting to an age where she's hysterical, dude.
Yeah.
Or what, but it's been fun. But I think there's
That's cool.
laughter in the house is underestimated.
Mm-hmm.
The dancing and
yes.
dancing in the house, enjoying one another, being silly with one another.
Yeah.
We should promote more laughter in a house.
Humor, laughter, it's all joy. Yeah.
It's healing, though.
I agree. Yeah, it is.
They've seen laughter actually heal people.
Right.
It's yo, why don't you just laugh a little?
Yeah.
Laugh at yourself. Laugh at your children.
Yeah.
Not in a condescending way, but
you can play jokes on people and stuff. It's fun.
oh yeah, we have this thing. We always scare each other.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Bexley always tries to scare us, but it's terrible. But we laugh so hard.
We do too.
Y'all scare each other?
Oh my gosh, yes. I got a couple. Well, they get me more than anything.
That's
I'll walk in
funny.
the door. Kyla, if she does it once, she wants to do it again, and she succeeds. Kelsey does it too. They'll jump out and scare me.
Yeah.
They did that trick where they're like, "Daddy, the toilet's smoking," and I'm like, "What?" I'll do my stuff, and so when I hear that, I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" Go in there. Have you seen that?
No.
Go in the bathroom, and they have the cardboard in the center of it, paper towel roll.
Yeah.
They have the toilet lid that's in it, and it looks like a cigarette. And then they have 2 toilet paper rolls on top. Looks like eyes. So it looks like the toilet is smoking.
That's hysterical.
And so I go in there
dude.
and I see that, and then they just lose it. They do this all the time. But one time, since I have a platform to talk, this is messed up. But Kelsey gets me all the time, so this is come back. One time years ago, this was hilarious. She always scared me. But one time I hid under the bed. She just thinking about it, she walked up to get something out of the nightstand or something, and I just brushed my finger across the back of her foot. And her reaction was so delayed. She goes, hold on. She said something like, "Oh my God." And then she ran. It was just so slow and delayed.
That's epic. It took her a minute to see if it was
legit.
real.
Yeah. And then she actually ran out of the room. Oh, that's the best one I've ever gotten her with. And I didn't expect her to legitimately be scared. It's who's under the bed besides me?
You never know.
Oh.
Yo, that's when I was walking up to group the other day, I was in this real serious conversation with Zach, trying to figure stuff out. Because it was right before we opened, I was just kind of I got all this stuff. And so I was trying to break it down. Well, Anthony comes and bangs on the glass door as I'm going to, I'm outside on the phone talking. It scared me so bad. I thought it was a gunshot.
Yeah.
I screamed and cussed several languages,
Yeah.
or several words. And I walk in, everybody was laughing, like
Oh, that's
rolling on the
funny.
floor laughing. And Daniel was like, "Oh, I thought I saw a few cuss words." And I said, "Yeah, you definitely did."
Yeah.
I was like, he scared the absolute dog out
Oh,
of me.
that's funny.
But I'm very easy to scare.
Yeah.
Very, very easy to scare. And I hate that about myself. But
Yeah. The jump scares gets me. If somebody jumps out and does something, that will usually get me.
yeah,
Nothing else. That's just those.
it's hysterical, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that to you sometime.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work.
I like when we get it on like recording. It's hysterical.
Yeah. I'm usually on my guard pretty well when it comes, like when I'm navigating my own house. I'm usually like,
Yeah.
could be somebody around the corner.
Or our friend group. You got to be careful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's some more than others.
Oh, yeah. But on a serious note, there's something, I was talking to a friend of mine about this too, is have you ever thought about like that scripture, like whatever you bind on earth should be bound in heaven, and whatever is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven.
Yeah.
And like talking about taking up your authority. Well, what does that look like if God wipes away every tear?
Yeah.
Right? So there's really like, eventually there's no tears in heaven.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only sorrow that you see is what you could have had on the earth. And the Lord actually kind of brings comfort to you in that.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're sad for eternity.
No, not at
right?
all.
So what about sadness here? I think sadness in and of itself should be bound.
Right.
I think, you know, as Christians, I'm not saying ignore stuff.
Yeah.
I'm saying that shouldn't be your fixed reality.
Right.
I'm saying like, I think that should be bound.
Yeah.
Despair, depression,
Right.
hopelessness,
Yeah. Doesn't belong.
disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just doesn't belong with us.
Right.
It shouldn't be compatible with our DNA. It shouldn't be
Ooh.
compatible in our person.
Yeah.
We should acknowledge it and realize, yo, I might be carrying this, but realize that that's not actually you.
The reality that it doesn't belong here.
It doesn't belong here. It
Ooh,
doesn't
yeah.
belong with you. Joy belongs with you.
Yes.
Happiness belongs with you. Love, laughter, connectedness,
Yeah.
silliness.
Yeah.
Because I think the Lord was just as silly. You know?
Right. I do too.
I think the Lord, I mean, he had joy above
Yeah.
all the other brethren. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
the Lord's got a sense of humor, man.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely does.
But I love that thought of like, you have the authority to bind anything here.
Yeah.
It's just, are you willing to use your authority in it?
Right.
And it's like, what have you allowed in your life that you have thought is compatible with you that is really not?
Yeah.
And I think those are good questions to kind of, or a good question to let yourself
Yeah.
go down.
Yeah, for sure. A
You
lot
know?
of people just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think it's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true though.
Or even like contention in
Yeah.
relationships. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think often we'll put it off as like, well, it's their fault. Like it's their fault that this is happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
You don't let anybody have power over you.
Right.
You actually have the authority. You have the power to step into this.
Mhm.
You can shift the atmosphere, and it's not by abrasiveness.
Yeah.
Like there was a
Right.
scripture I stumbled upon that was revolutionary for me in my marriage. Is like, as a wife, you live your life unto the Lord, and it will be, as you live your life unto the Lord, your husband will be drawn
Mm-hmm.
because of what he observes.
Yeah.
Basically, that's
Yeah.
Marlia's version of it. Without you having to say a word,
Yeah.
is what it says. So you don't ever actually have to preach at somebody.
Just live
You
it.
just live your life. You
Mhm.
be happy.
Yeah.
You don't let people have power over you.
Right.
I think that's taking up your authority.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You don't need, again, we talk about it. You don't need a mediator. You don't need somebody to
Mhm.
tell you how to feel. You don't need somebody to tell you how not to feel.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
when have you noticed when, like a situation where you've taken your power up,
Mm-hmm.
that you saw something drastically shift?
Yeah. Well, I had one recently, and I've done it before, but it's just being mindful in the moments. I mean, the technology is probably one of them that I need to, But yeah, there's been a lot of weird manipulation stuff going on in my family and stuff, and I haven't been like immediately impacted by it or whatever. I have before, but not this time.
Well, you're like an observer of this.
I'm kind of, right now I'm in the observer stage, but it does touch people that, I love, obviously. And so that's the thing. I can take anything really for myself. I don't care when anybody talks about me, but when it's people that I care about, that is something I'm working on because that bothers me. Anyways, this person is causing trouble for people, that I love. And I love this person that's causing the trouble too. Anyways, I was in the middle of it, really frustrated about it. And I would have a couple of little urges like, I'm going to call them and tell them off basically. And just angry about it. But in the middle of it, I was able to recognize like, hey, I'm angry about this. Pretty spiteful towards this person right now. They're basically attacking my family. But in the middle of that, I was like, oh, that is something that needs to be crucified. My right to have that towards them. And that goes back to the forgiveness thing too, having the posture of forgiveness. But in that moment where you feel those things, where I was feeling that, and I said, no, I made the decision. I said, I will not follow this breadcrumb of poison. And I prayed for this person and I blessed them. And in that was, if you want to feel it, I felt it, taking my power, taking my authority, releasing that person, It's those moments, and those moments are where it's why we do all this. We're built for those things, but it's in those moments, that's where you take the power back. That's where you grow. It's right in the middle of those things, It's not like, anyways, that was the most recent one. I felt it.
It's brilliant, man. The Lord told me the other day, basically like, you can agree with anything I've said. And the thing that struck me when he said that was, I felt this sense of like the very first thing he said. Well, the very first thing he ever said, it's the principle of first mention, right?
Yeah.
So the principle of first mention is whatever is said in the Bible, that's kind of like the definition that you can kind of go by anytime it shows up in the rest of the Bible.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, the very first thing he said is, let there be light.
Yeah.
That was the very first thing he said.
Right.
And I realized that's our function. That's what I can actually stand in agreement with in every single situation.
Yeah.
Is let there be light.
Yeah.
That, for me, it struck me so hard. That's what it looks like to, quote unquote, take up my authority.
Yes.
That's what it looks like to do warfare, big quote unquote.
Yes.
Is let there be light. Let there be light in this situation. Let there be light on that person. Let there be light in this arena. Let there be light within me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. That's his nature.
Right.
His nature is light.
Yeah.
And when he said, let there be light, he was saying, let there be my essence.
Right.
Like, that's what it struck me as. It's like, it's his essence in this.
Right.
And so even just what you're saying, like that, you nailed everything that wasn't of light to the cross.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, it is my right. Like, I love when you said that. It struck me. Well, it's my right. Like, they're infringing upon me. It's like, no, crucify your right.
Yes.
Like, you've been crucified with Christ.
Right.
Well, what do you think looks like after a crucifixion, dude? It's a resurrection.
Yeah. Yeah. You apply that to everything.
If you apply that right and you crucify that right, you're going to rise.
Right.
You will live in another vein. It's not that you're dead.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're not
and that's our responsibility.
Yeah.
Is to do that. It's like I'm choosing light in anything that comes up, and it's my responsibility to crucify what's already dead
Mm-hmm.
and to grow and to fulfill the purpose while we're here. But
Yeah.
to be that for other people, to like share the spoils of that conquest with other people, like, hey, look, this is possible.
Totally.
And then to unlock them.
Yeah.
That's our responsibility. And you crucify that, right? We're totally separate from that. To feel that, it's like, that's not us.
Yeah. But it's like when you crucify something,
Yeah.
right? We pattern everything in our life after the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
When you crucify something, something else is coming alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there is that transaction of resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
And so something else is being resurrected when you surrender this thing.
Yes.
It's not that you just have to surrender and good luck.
Yeah, right.
You know, like,
yeah, no.
Man, now you have to feel like crap because XYZ or whatever.
No.
It's like, no, something else is being resurrected. Take hold of the resurrection.
Yeah, that's right.
Take hold of the life that just came up that shows up when you surrender.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is something there.
Yeah, there's something pure and a higher way to be had.
Like there's some, I don't know, I saw this so strong. It's like there's something else after the cross.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Like walk it through the cross because there's something else on the other side of it.
Apply the cross to everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
You want to be Catholic? Get your own Catholic cross and just,
yeah.
You know how they...
Right. It's funny.
With the cross, apply it to people's foreheads.
That was something else in Isaiah. I went through that thing the other night, and I was just like, oh my God. You know, there's the things that we solidly know that the cross took care of, but then there's all these other things that it's like, he didn't just fulfill pieces of it.
Yeah.
He fulfilled like all that stuff. Like, I don't even, feasting on the riches of the nations. That's just, that's off the top of my head. It's not worded that way probably, but just little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something in there. He talked about the new wine is found in the cluster of grapes.
Yeah, dude.
Which took me back to even what Daniel was saying about like there's jewels, there's rubies in the mud. You know, you can even go back in time and apply the cross to things in the past wounds, pains. You can go back there, apply it, and extract the gold from it, you know? But there's more. There's so much more. There's just so much to be had. Every single thing is pure opportunity for us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. But, I mean, it's where we're going.
It is where we're going.
Yeah.
I think when you apply the cross into everything, you let the Lord in to say whatever you will let him declare what was actually truth in that situation.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm saying about like things of the past.
Yeah.
You know, because I think people will get hung up. I've read this thing about like your mind neurologically. If you have trauma or whatever in your mind, like say hypothetically you're 7 years old.
Yeah.
And you've got trauma, but you're 40.
You're still stuck.
You are still stuck in your mind as if a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
In that experience, you are as if you were a 7-year-old. But when you let the Lord in on that, he will heal that. So you are no longer a 7-year-old. You are instantly a 40-year-old again.
Yeah.
Like you have that. He is the key to this.
Right.
He is the key to full maturity. He is the key to even resolving things from the past and even relational stuff.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's cool.
Hey, I feel this real quick. I'm kind of feeling this out.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like to encourage our listeners to actually go sit with the Lord and ask him, like, one, to reveal your heart to me of actually how he views you. But then also, like, if there are certain things that have triggered you and things that, like, you just kind of, quote unquote, can't get over, nail it to the cross.
Yeah.
Like, surrender that thing into it. And I feel like the Lord really wants to impart a fresh hope and a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
That will actually physically cause you to feel lighter. And I feel like there's an exchange that's available with certain situations for people. And maybe it was childhood. Maybe it was like teens. Maybe it was, I don't know. I feel the sense of like relational.
Yeah.
Like there's something relationally that the Lord is wanting to exchange for people. So y'all should take that.
Yeah. And if you're in the midst of it, if you're in the thick of it, good, because you're close to its heart.
Yeah. It's manifesting,
and you have
so
the
you
weapon.
can see it.
And then it's the simple, it's the decision.
Yeah.
In the middle of it.
And you can let that thing fly.
Yeah.
Like you can release it, because I feel like the Lord really wants to show himself not only just strong on your behalf, but show himself true.
Yeah. Right.
Like the trueness of whatever that experience was. So, sorry, that's what I got.
No, that's good.
You got anything else?
Yeah, just a little bit. We'll just sound the same line, like the trauma stuff. I'd say don't be afraid of any of it.
Yeah.
Go in it with him.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. You know, I'll encounter people, and I've had stuff before where I've been afraid to go back out of pain or whatever, but it's like, I don't know. Now it's like gun for it and go into it with him. I don't know. Don't be afraid of anything.
Yeah. I feel like there's like this strategic timing that the Lord has placed for people that like you don't have to go hunt for it. It will surface itself.
It'll come up. Yes.
It will come up.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I think that sometimes it comes up and it may have a different face, but the root is the same.
Right.
So.
Well, many times he'll bring it up because it's time to deal with it and you're equipped and ready to. You know, he won't give you anything you're not
ready to take a swing at.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like that whack-a-mole game. You ever play that?
Yeah.
When they pop up, you hit them with the
I was
hammer.
terrible at it, but yes.
Yeah, I was too. But.
All right.
The end.
Y'all have a good day.